IBC already designating party agents, election observers, and security personnel is to guarantee the aspect of free and fairness of the process. So when you crowd, then you are making a mockery of these clearly defined and designated persons. DCP will have its agents. UDA will have its agents. Jubilee will have its agents. Don't forget we have election observers, locally and internationally. Don't forget we also have the security personnel who are verified having their space there. And then you have the electoral officials being there. Why is that done? So that you are no longer, like you're not seeking to impede. If you crowd the polling station, so where is the guarantee of the voter to access the polling station to vote? Number two, where is the guarantee of peace and tranquility for the same vote to be counted freely where the agents can be able to verify? And that's why I'm saying the biggest innovation that we ever got that should give all parties the aspect to be calm is, by virtue we've said what is counted, what is voted and counted at the polling station is final, is enough consideration. What ideally Gakuya and DCP team are doing is that they are trying to muddy the waters so that you are now forcing the government side through the security personnel to react. Then once you have commotion, if indeed DCP is extremely popular and sure that they're winning, why would they then interfere with the voter casting the vote? Why would they interfere with the process? Why the suspicion? Yet it is already clearly defined. In fact, the parties were part and parcel of the briefing. Okay. In fact, DCP was on notice saying clearly that it should not even be postponed by an hour. So why do you want to muddy the waters? Yet it's clearly provided they'll have their agents.
Thank you for that clarity.
Observers.
Yes,
Actually, I am not. Listen.
Okay, let's allow him briefly.
I am not anticipating that. In fact, we will be inside the polling stations because in a polling station, been allowed by the IBC to get in, but you are outside. Go so that anything that might arise, you can face it.
So they will be outside? Because we had the senator for Nyandarua saying...
Is it not impeding the voters to vote?
Yes.
Bwana Mutamba.
What, my good, amounts to incitement? Because the moment a leader says we are not going to leave that polling station, the voters will listen to them. Then they will do as per their leaders, but not as per the law. Wakili has put it very clearly, the procedure of voting. And if that is the law, and you want free and fair election, and you want the law to favor you or to be respected, why are you not respecting it yourself? Why are you inciting people or telling people, don't leave after voting? Because what you are trying to do is to build a mayhem whereby people are voting and they're still staying there. And you know, when you have a crowd around an area which has some laws and procedure on how the exercise should be undertaken, if there will be destruction, either by so many things, either by noise of these people or whatever, and that will erupt the emotions of the people who are doing the work. So you will be interrupting the process yourself, which you are demanding it to be free and fair. So if you cause this trouble, then you go back again and start saying the election was not free and fair, and you are the one who has caused it. It is totally wrong. And those are the things we need to refrain ourselves from. And as leaders, we need to advise our people. Kindly, we have enough agents, and if you don't trust those agents, why appoint them in the first place? You appoint them because you trust them that they will do the job you want done. You trust them that they will oversee the counting of the votes. And actually, if we have a better law for our election, it is this time, which states the results of a polling station are final. So there's nobody else who will say anything else. And those results becomes final when they have been signed by the agents of all the parties, or the people who are participating into it. So if you have people controlling that process, why are you now inviting other people to come and shield or whatever you want to call it, or keep a vigil or whatever it is? Why do you have to do it? Whatever the opposition is doing amounts to inciting people to come and cause mayhem so that they have a reason to hold on.
Gakuya repeatedly talks about an incident where CS accessed a polling center. Is there any need for these senior officials to be anywhere near any voting process.
My take on that, if the CS are accessed, maybe he had credentials to visit. Maybe it's also a voter. Let us not even cascade. They are also voters. If a CS has a right to vote,
But he didn't only remember.
and maybe you cannot become a voter,
The CS.
then you cannot be given your right to go and
No.
vote.
I think
or
he
to
was
go there.
referring to Ruku in Bere.
No,
He was a voter in
the
Bere.
CS
Yes.
was a voter in Bele.
Yes, yes, yes.
But in fact, where he intruded, it was not his voting polling station. And he invaded, and he inserted a teller. Everybody was terrorized. Was that not criminal? What are you telling us?
Why did you keep quiet with that information?
Listen to what
If we
I
want a free and fair ground, it must apply to everybody. And we cannot have double standard in this. And if we would like us to be completely obey, everybody should be completely obey. And then, in this case, and what we are saying, we are all equal in law.
Is there any indication that something like that could happen?
Not at all.
in
Actually,
Olkalau?
this is just
In
a
fact,
convention.
it is through experience
is
that we
apprehension.
would like this matter to be addressed by IBC. They have today and tomorrow before election. They must apply to this matter. Then they address it. Because they are the one who are supposed to tame and give a ground which is conducive. And therefore they should address it. That we are not going to allow anybody to intrude in all the polling stations.
Indemoli.
Okay. Yes,
I
okay.
think it will be better for DCP to spend its energy in mobilizing its voters to turn up. Why I'm saying so is because by-elections...
We have done our job.
by-elections have a notoriety.
No.
I would wish the energy...
The campaign
Kuya
is already
using to
terminated.
fight. In fact, he is fighting imaginary enemies and thoughts that possibly a CS will intrude. In Bere North...
And because we have an experience.
I'll come to you,
The
Managa
CS
Kuya.
Ruku, the CS Ruku,
Even
the
with
CS
this
Ruku
country.
was a voter. Actually, it was his polling station. That's where those hue and cry. But at the same time, IBC was able to rein him in that as soon as he voted, he was told, you can no longer be able to stick here. Which I think for tomorrow, Olkalau has no minister. There's no CS from this administration that is a voter in Olkalau. So that can be put to rest. Number two, if there is a question as who put out there that they will not leave, it is DCP through Methu. He's the one who said we are not leaving the polling station. So what does that entail? They will even impede their voters from voting. What I'm seeing is basically emotions running high, and that is common when it comes to elections. I've participated in party primaries, which is even worse when it comes to such apprehension. At least for IBC, there is structure, there are regulations, and importantly, a hotly contested by-election like this one, where the media, I don't think we will lose the place of the fourth estate in dictating and giving live coverage towards the voting, including, for example, TV47 with your live on location. So what I'm looking at, which I think DCP should be comfortable with, this is one by-election. Previously, during the Bere North, we had almost 3, 4, 5 by-elections. This is one by-election. All eyes are on Olkalau. All eyes are on the process. IBC, under the new chairmanship, is also staking out its place. Is he not happy that IBC has gone out of its way? When they complain about the clip that went around about Mr. Gekaria, the honorable member from Nakuru Town East, did IBC not act on that immediately? Had you not seen where now semblance of peace coming in from both sides? So that tells you this is a test for IBC to test run where you have a charged election, where you have battleground hotspot like this one. This is a good space that we are going to question. So I agree with Mutambu that it's not time to give insightful or more or less to be apprehensive. I would rather them assuring their supporters and say be vigilant. That is okay. I agree with him. I agree with Gakuya that you have to say out, be vigilant, but not to say we are going to barricade.
Yes. I have an issue, and I want us to address it briefly because there are so many rumors about instances that could end up as voter suppression. That yes, many people would want to come out and vote, but
where a team of a policeman chased a Saudi vehicle for the DCP candidate from Captain, an area known as Captain, all the way to Girugiru, shooting the vehicle, tear gassing the vehicle, with no any single claim that there was anything that that particular Saudi has done. Number two, yesterday, 3 vehicles, candidate Kega from Olkalau all the way to Orjorok. He was supposed to hide to a particular bomber around, and he left the vehicle which was shot by bullets. And this tells you what? We have a case of a hotel allowed or crowd there, where DCP team was terrored during a particular night. And I'm telling you, even their phones were confiscated. And let me tell you, this kind of chaos are indication that there is an authorized team around which is using Goonism method to overturn the result. And this is why we are saying, how do we stay away when already we have an indication that you guys, you are ready to bring what you call diversory kind of actions. This is where when we are saying, it's only an IBC you can give an assurance, and we have 2 days to go, so that we can be able to get out of that particular that particular field completely.
There are serious questions around security. The issue of goons that he has talked about, what we've witnessed during campaigns. If that is witnessed, and there's already fear on voting day, do you think that that could result in voter suppression? That many people, voter apathy, for example, that many people may not show up?
As I answer your question, I want to appeal to my good friend here to cool his tempers.
How can I cool my tempers?
It's a figure emulated. Let me talk about you. You are a figure emulated by many.
When
let me talk. Let me
then you are telling me to be.
And in this country, many things happen. And until you get to know the truth of what happened, you cannot just start accusing or finger pointing others. Because we have seen so many things here: stage managing of events, stage managing.
Don't tell us that.
I have to. No, it cannot be Wakaguya. You have to learn.
You are
It cannot
like
be
you are not
whatever.
you are not
No,
a
no,
politician.
it cannot be whatever you are saying is the right.
Let's allow him.
You have
Let's
to
allow
allow
him.
other people
Sambo, you
to
are
speak their mind.
politician.
I am,
Wakaguya.
and I'm speaking as one and
allow him his time.
who knows things happen in this country. I do understand
You
people.
used to manage?
Wakaguya.
So many things
you
have
used
been.
to?
I'm saying.
Let's allow
things
Bwana Mutambo to
people
finish his
do
point.
Manage things, stage manage things. I know that. And if you don't know that, then you live maybe in utopia. It happens in this
But I'm
country.
asking,
We
are
have
you part
seen
of
it.
them?
We have seen it happening in this country. People just stage managing things for a reason. And I'm not saying Kakuya. And I'm not saying opposition. It can be stage managed
So
from
you are
any
saying
corner.
what you have been
No,
seeing.
what we see in this country,
What you have
Kakuya.
been seeing, or Karao is stage managed.
You know
Is
now.
that is your conclusion?
Wakaguya.
One thing, it is important to debate with someone who has a level of understanding.
It's your time
and
now.
getting the
Wakaguya,
points.
let's just allow him to finish.
Because no.
I am just accusing your defense line. Aye.
My defense line is on the fact.
It's his opinion. He should
And
be
it is
allowed.
my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Yes.
If you feel agitated by opinion, then that's you. But I am entitled to it. And just like
Professor
you.
Mutambo.
And it cannot be everything good.
Lakini ujue unaenda kutafuta kiti hata wewe. Na utapangiwa.
I have no problem.
What does that mean, Wakaguya, that atapangiwa?
What do you mean?
Is that a
Is
threat?
that a threat now?
I think
Is
for them,
is
for
that
them,
a
as I've
threat?
said,
That
Let's
means
not
now
take
they
that.
are also planning for others. Because kama Kaguya, you can stand on a national television and you tell me nitapangiwa, then am I safe? Is my life in danger?
Unaniambiaga unapangiwa.
Is my life in danger?
Yeah, unaniambia
I wonder.
unapangiwa.
No. There are some things we don't even think of uttering as leaders. Because when a leader tells me, and I know
I withdraw.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for withdrawing. And I mean, you've just withdrawn up to the point where you think I would be pangiwad from.
I think DCP.
No, let's not take that route. Let's be cordial
It's
and
a
allow
very
each other
slippery route
an
which
opportunity
cannot take. But anyway,
to speak.
it's my body. I have no problem, and I can take it as on lighter note.
Okay.
What I'm saying is this: let us not agitate our nation because of imagination. We are just imagining that this will happen, that will happen, and it has not happened actually. And when we just hold that fact, this will happen, and we tell our people, don't leave the polling station. Do this. We must protect ourselves. It's like we are living in a banana republic where there is no law and order. I can tell you we have thousands of Kenyans who are law enforcers, and they are very well trained. and very disciplined, and they do their work effectively, and that's why we are enjoying the
If you look at the front page of the Standard, it talks about that. The police bosses, police IGs there, the PS in charge of security, and the CS in charge of security. Paper is calling into question the ability to guarantee security, to protect lives and property,
Yes.
including during elections.
Yes.
Yes, it is a real concern that violence could be used to affect the electoral process.
Good.
Does it concern you, Akili?
Absolutely. I think we've been on a slippery path. When I was a student at the University of Nairobi, I think Goonism was part and parcel of our student electoral process. And at that time, it was at that low level in the sense that you didn't see it going national. And subsequently, especially during party nominations and party primaries, where each of the bigger parties, especially ODM, was always struggling with that bit. Mm-hmm. If you remember the famous Men in Black during the ODM general meeting in Kasarani, sometime back in 2014, I think. You know, so those were always pockets of cases of Goonism. But what is of surprise that it has gone national? It's now mainstream. Areas that you wouldn't anticipate or processes that you wouldn't anticipate would attract this level of organized violence is now here with us. So I think the Ministry of Interior under my friend Kipchumba Murkomen now has a real challenge in its hand, in the sense that the law appreciates or expects that the person with the monopoly of violence is government, mm-hmm. and can only be exercised by licensed officers, in this case the police officers, both from administration police or the Kenya police and even plainclothes. So it is expected that they are the only ones who can maintain law and order. The moment we privatize that particular aspect of security, then you are heading to a slippery path. What I'm saying, therefore, is that, and I think as we head to the by-elections tomorrow, this presents a test of its kind, whereby the government then has to step in and completely stamp out the issue of Goonism, because Goonism has a way of finding its way back to its masters. They say today they'll fight the opponent, but then they'll turn their guns, whoever pays them more, they'll turn their guns on the person. Or even the person who hired them, if he fails to properly or sufficiently remunerate them, then they'll turn their heads on you. Then most worst case scenario is that then you mainstream it by making it a thing. So that every political person, as we gear into these elections, all of us here are politicians seeking to vie for positions. So does it mean, as I prepare to go vie back in my county of Nandi, then it would mean I should also prepare goons as part and parcel.
Are we not there yet?
That's why I'm saying the danger is once we mainstream it, especially towards an electoral process like tomorrow. It has been a case of this.
The by-election is actually on Thursday, the day after tomorrow.
Yes.
And the People Daily actually has this as a main story, and they have that image of goons in Kisumu.